start. This is caster. So at this point, you don't have too much information about what's going on around the victim, except for the information if you cast it to actor of maybe who's hostile to the victim, etc. But there is a way to centralize information, various ways. You can look through the entire cell, provided you have SKSE, and collect information to some central controller object or something like that. But that's likely more costly, especially if you're able to do this spell quite often, versus something like using a quest to collect information. That's what we are going to do here, because then you simply need to reference the quest script. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to quest here and start game enabled. We have to have this information ready whenever the player casts the spell. But if you're really asinine about it, you can start the quest only when the player learns the spell. That's fine too, but it doesn't matter here for my purposes. So new quest. Oh, quest. Yeah. So we're going to add a script to this. Whatever. So we want to know who was hit from here. What we're going to do is you can also use script name here and reference a script name, but I'm just going to use quest. So yeah, quest property. So in let me move stuff around here. So let's put a function that and function. Good. So let's put a function there that is that. And so I don't really think we need to provide the caster at this point. I can only assume it's the player unless you're going to give it to an NPC, which I guess is fine. So we're going to cast it to this script. I don't know, I'm going to put like 512. So basically, we do want to keep track of the things that are we do want to keep track of the spheres that are in the game and where they are and everything. For that, so that's what we're going to do here. We are going to start them up on you can call it a lazy variable, right? It doesn't initialize until it's actually being used. So there's a hit event. The player has cast a spell and it has hit a hopefully a cluster of NPCs, because if it's not a cluster, then it's kind of boring. It's way cooler if there were a bunch of NPCs you hit with this, because that's the whole point of it. So we have to let's see. Okay. So if it doesn't even exist, that means nothing has happened yet. Which and you could do various things if you figure out that, oh, there's already a sphere here where that maybe you can even augment the sphere or something cool like that. We're not going to do that though. We're just going to ignore it. So if there are no spheres, you're just going to do. Right now, we're just going to return if that's the case. We're not going to do anything. Check if it's not empty. Otherwise, we're going to make a new sphere, which we don't have the movable static for that yet, but we're going to in a moment. So this is going to be basically the thing that does most of the work. We're going to probably pass it an array of monsters, and I guess you could, instead of returning, just simply naively returning, you can say, well, if that, you can pass it over to the sphere instead of returning. We'll handle that in a moment. Generate sphere is going to generate this thing. So what we need to do is actually create another script here. And so here's where we land up in our problem of whether we should pass an array of actors or just an actor and wait. I wonder what kind of time difference problems we may have with that. We'll just start with one actor and go forward from there. It's going to receive multiple actors. It really depends on how this sequence of events ends up looking. I.e., I don't remember if it would imaginably go pass through multiple threads if they're different hits. Whatever, it's fine. We'll just start with this. So, and let's say it could add actors as desired. So I don't remember if you can do that. It's stupid. This Papyrus is such an awful language. It is so bad. So we're going to see if it's even initial. Well, it's obviously not initialized in here. We'll do. I mean, you can do a maximum of whatever. You have to. It has to be a constant. So we have to, because this is a temporary object in the world, we don't really have to worry too much about handling dead objects or dead actors or deleted actors and stuff like that. We can just check and like after max hits is complete, then it disappears, it's deleted. So that's not even a problem. So what we're gonna do is good start stream. We're gonna register for single update. I'm gonna put a time delta here. We're gonna say time delta for now is 0.5. Target list is initialized. So for this, we're going to just put a count every time. Well, you know what? It's preferable to. Oh, what am I? On update. We're gonna do that like that instead, as I wanted before. Put it over here. That makes more sense. And this is where we will be doing our stream, but we're going to separate it. So start stream, right? It's really more like I'm going to put add actor instead. That would be a more appropriate name. And so all we're going to do then is we're just going to add that onto the target list. And that's it. So when it updates, we're going to launch the stream actually. And this function is going to go through each actor and cast a spell, which we need to customize. Let's see. It's possible that you want to spawn it a different way, and that in that case, target list has not even been initialized, so good. So I'll just check it up here. So we're gonna loop through this array and cast the stream. But it's possible that they're either dead or deleted or something else handled it. I'm going to put that condition there. Check for errors. Okay. So we update. Well, really, the starting point is when it adds an actor. Yeah. And I don't suspect that it's going to take more than 0.5 seconds to add a few actors. So that's fine. So what happens is that when it gets spawned, it collects the actors that were hit, and we're going to basically consistently launch a stream, uh, uh, cast a stream spell towards everyone that was hit, or everyone that is included. Like, say, if we want to add an actor, which I think now maybe that's a good idea. So if it's within the distance of that sphere, maybe the player cast it again, then just add it to the sphere. So this is called AAA sphere script. Right. Well, here we're going to have to do handling though. There are more optimal approaches to doing handling than the one I'm going to do, but I'm trying to be very quick about things as well. I'm not going to like go into everything. So instead, I'm just going to go through each index and see if the sphere is deleted or something. So here we create a new sphere anyway and initialize the but we need to, if it did include it in a sphere, we need to know that, but we'll do that later. So spheres equals what? Yeah. I'm just going to put 16. I can't imagine that people are going to be casting this spell like that much. So let's see. Thinking that this is going to just return the actor. It's a problem. There. It'll just return the object reference of what we create. We need I think activator is a property. Well, I imagined I was going to do something else, but I guess not. So it's going to be the actor. Yeah. And I'm going to actually set position. It's like 256, a little bit higher than whatever the actor is. I think actors are about 128 units. Maybe we're gonna do it 3 times as big. Something like that, I think is fine. It's gonna appear above the actor. And that's that. Of course, we still have to debug it. And this is kind of like a spontaneous live debugging session then. So basically what's going to happen is we have a hit event. That's when the spell tells us that somebody has been hit. Now if there is a sphere, then there we're going to add an actor. Well, if there is. But If there isn't, then it has gone through all of the oh, it has gone through all of the indices, so that means it's hasn't spawned anything, or there wasn't anything spawned there. And so in that same case, uh, we're going to generate sphere. I don't know if I need to do anything with the index as of the moment, so I might take that out. Because it adds it within here anyway. So let's just recap now. So this control quest, simply we just look at who got hit and tell this central command that that's what happened, right? And we're going to get the actor from there. And we're going to basically look for a sphere if it's not already there. We add one. We give it the actor too. You maybe a delay, maybe not. No. I don't think we need delays. We'll see though. So anyway, so we have this, we generate the sphere that is above one, basically the first guy that hit, the first guy whose event ends up instigating the central controller. That's the one that's going to uh, be the first guy, and the sphere is going to spawn above that person. So nice. We get the actor from here. So it loads and it waits that little bit of time. And I guess if you want an extra hit, if you don't consider that the 10 hits because it's partially initializing in one delta time, then you can add another one. So it essentially it collects all its actors in that case. There's a lot of creative things you can do with starting off with this. So right upon initialization is when it starts hitting, and it'll just add actors as needed. And this is just essentially just a ticker for that. But if it does hit its max hits to 0, then of course we're going to gently disable it. We're going to disable with fade and wait a couple seconds. Nice. What we forgot to do is to add actors once we generate the sphere. So that's why. Right, so we have to configure things. So I'm thinking, because it's a fire, it's a little fireball for the art object. that I guess flames, but flames isn't very strong. But I guess for now, you should modify flames to make it more intense. So that's fine. And so here, that's our sphere. And we don't really need any cleaning because any garbage collection here because the spheres delete themselves and you can detect when it doesn't exist anymore or something like that. And we're being naive about this. If you really want to be efficient, you could make a queue data structure. Um, that way, the ones that come in, you'll know what to check because it's based chronologically, and that's an efficient data structure for this because it's essentially a time-based queue. So you just check the back. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'll go in a rabbit hole if I keep thinking. Anyway, um, so yes, I don't think I'm gonna do anything more than the naive form of this. So I'll leave it here. I what I want to do is